Hello, welcome back to another Ruffa Sports Cards video. In today's video, I have a little buyer POV video from the 3-day Sacramento card show. I was only there for one day, this Saturday, and there wasn't a ton of value bins, to be honest. I know the event coordinator and all that, but sometimes just the value bins, it's kind of hit or miss. It feels like every single show is hit or miss, especially with value bins. Sometimes some people just clear out of them very much before the shows and all that. And then, some shows get the worst half of the vendors' value bins and all that. But nonetheless, I'm in a value bin searching mood, and that's always where I'm at, is in the value bins. And this one is with the vendor I've done a lot of deals with. I know the vendor. We talk, me and his, I believe it's his father. I'm 100% sure it's his father. We talk. We're on talking basis. Literally, we talk while I'm searching through, or we'll talk while I'm waiting for him to come up with a price, or what else have you. And I like to come by and say hi to everyone that I kind of know when I do deals with them and all that, or I know because I do deals with them. And honestly, this deal was it was definitely not my favorite deal, especially just the way this vendor operates is very strict on his prices. So you can see I'm looking through, and there's some really cool cards. He pretty much probably puts everything at last, if not above last. Honestly, I don't think I found many cards below last comp, if at all any. I'm sure I found some just because of the sheer quantity I've bought and all that. And sometimes I'm not too sure if he uses card ladder or not, or what else have you. But I bought a lot of cards. If I had to guess, I would guess I definitely in the thousands of dollars from this vendor. And I actually did my so before this card show, I did a live stream on Whatnot. Each and every Wednesday, 6 p.m. PST, I go live and sell an absolute ton of cards on my Whatnot stream. Some of these pickups that you see in these videos will be sold on there and all that. So if you're looking for any of these cards, check out the Whatnot each and every Wednesday, 6 p.m. PST. But you guys missed some Kurt Warners that I didn't grab, because Kurt Warner, honestly, I've sold a ton of Kurt Warner from his value bins and all that, and I get a little grilled after selling so many and all that. And then people were like, how'd you find all this Kurt Warner? But honestly, I picked up some of the cooler ones before. But yeah, so you'll see that in the future here, I'll go to the audio of the clip here, and then we're talking and all that, me and his dad. But yeah, it's just so I had the stream that was the old school night, and I had stashed away a whole bunch of cards from this vendor that I thought I wouldn't be able to get what the sticker price was. And then finally I just decided, I'm just going to offload them on Whatnot. They're not doing me any good just sitting in a box. I am into profit on the quarters and all that. So I just decided to kick up the profit a little more for this third quarter, because that's where that would be accounted for, is the third quarter profit. And I just decided to sell it off. I came across this Luke Kuechly Topps Finest Rookie Refractor, and it was scratched to death. Literally, no care for it in the world. It was a card that I even would feel bad for giving away on Whatnot. I do give away certain damaged cards and all that, or cards that are scratched and I don't want to sell and all that. That's kind of what I do for my giveaways, and how I source my giveaways is the sheer quantity of stuff. And obviously not every single card is going to be okay, but when I'm picking out a $10 card, I expect there to be some sort of quality control. And if there's not, I expect there to be some sort of accountability, especially if I'm going to be doing deals with you continuously in the future too. So I kind of wanted to test see if he's really, how much the value of the relationship that we have, business wise and all that, kind of coincides with the $10 price point value, because I know he's very firm on his prices. Literally, well, not always, but yes, always, he worked with me on Kurt Warner's, and I'm sure it's because he has so many Kurt Warner's, because he just keeps bringing them out. I'm sure he bought a super collection or something like that. And also, I want to put it in terms like this too, because in later on in the video, I'll ask him for a $10 discount off the price point. Literally, I predicted exactly where he would want to be in my head before what, he went and because he even recounts every single sticker card, and then he comes up with a price, right? So even with all of the deals, and however, I don't think I've ever been with off, $10-20 in sticker value. Literally, if that would be the absolute most I'm off ever, probably, if I had to guess, because of just the sheer quantity and the randomness of the sticker too. There's a $12 sticker, there's a $15 sticker, there's I've even found, I'm pretty sure $20 stickers in there potentially. But so just the sheer quantity of randomness numbers is why I would be off, because you have a $1 card, and then you have a $9 card, and then you have a $6 card. So when you're dealing with stuff like that, you're going to have random, accidental, oops, I accident, it's not going to be an all smooth, okay, I have 580 cards, like the other deal. And they're some of them should be $2, $3, $4, $5, $6, $7, $8, whatever the heck. And I'm not going to want to pay, I paid 90, so that's the thing too. I paid 90% on the 577 cards. And if they were all priced at sticker, I'm definitely not grabbing every single card out that I did. It's just kind of the principle of value bins. But, in my own relationships and business relationships, I have this exact example, and I realized it when I was going home, is with one of my friends now in the card space, and we have a business relationship where we will do deals with each other. I will sell him cards, we'll trade cards, and I'll buy cards off of him. I'm not going to say the name of him, just because I do not care about the dollar value associated with this exact topic at hand. But we had okay, so to preference, I guess technically he might realize who he is, and please do not worry about it because of the actual circumstances of me having to explain it, but please do not worry about it. Okay, here we go. So at a card show, I did a deal with somebody. They sent me money, and luckily the person who sent me the money was someone who I would have trusted enough for this situation to happen. Why? It was the only person I did a deal with that day that I wouldn't have been worried about. I had contact with them. I could easily get in touch with him, and I trusted him, right? So he sent me, I think it was $215 or some odd dollar amount. And then the payment didn't go through for whatever reason. The bank was trying to protect them, yada, 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 right? I did not mind. I knew I was going to be able to get in touch with him. I knew he was a good guy. And then we got it situated after it tried again, or PayPal didn't let it go through. So then they sent me the money directly, and he sent me $2 less, because I'm pretty sure he probably thought that he wanted to cover fees or something, right? I'm okay with taking a $2 deduction, because obviously it's a little different situation there too. But I got the money back, and I the $2 discount, right? I'm okay with taking a $2 discount for somebody that I'm going to do plenty of deals with in the future. But the whole point of that, me saying that and me putting that out there, is my $2 is probably, if not more than his $10. So for somebody to, be so firm to the point on their price points where, they literally disregard and neglect the previous, relationship that we've built, with business wise and just personal relationship. Obviously it's more or less me and his father that talk a lot, but like I'll go around and say hi and all that. But I just also, it's hard for me to really love continuing a relationship with somebody, especially, when they value $10 more than the person across the table. Especially when considering, right, the situation at hand. It was his own sticker price point putting out there for $10 when the card's all thrashed, and then you'll see, like, I I figured there's some cars in here that are going to be banged up. I figure there's going to be some cars in here that I'm not going to be able to want to sell at the price point and all that, but I'm still grabbing cards out. I'm still, even looking through, I'm still going through and picking out cards that I know probably have they definitely have a chance of being unsellable. And especially for the price points I'm paying, like, definitely for sure losses if they are. And then just for him to completely not show any care in the world and just, continue his narrative of, oh, I'm firm because, this, that, or the other, right? You'll see at the end, it's just, I look through literally 3 value bins here. Literally, you can see one's like, look at the rows of 2-row bins. I had only looked through 3 football bins. I still haven't ever even looked through his basketball and baseball ones with, while again searching for basketball and baseball. I've only looked through football pretty much for the most part. Now there's some reasons for that too. I just don't have full trust and faith in my basketball and baseball knowledge, especially of like older stuff like this and all that. And I know the football market like the back of my hand, where I don't with the basketball and baseball. But I had only looked through 3 of the football boxes, and if I do the math correctly, I think there's about 10. So I think there would be 7 more, maybe, like, we'll just say 6 more full value bins for me to look through for football. And these might have been the worst ones. I have no idea. They might have been the best ones. I have no idea too. But the $10 would have been made back and more if he would have, because I told him too, I haven't looked through everything. I wanted to come back. He said, do you want me to set these aside for you? And I just wanted to work it out, because I don't want to, one, I just don't know if we're going to be able to come to an agreement on price. And I figured I already, had an idea what he was going to say. I already know pretty much how his mind operates. He pretty much goes 80%. Actually, technically, he went above 80% on this one. And given I didn't pick out as much as I do, but he pretty much goes for 80%, and that's pretty much all he does. And when you buy out at 80%, you're pretty much hoping that you get more than last comps if he has them priced out at last comps. So it's tough. It's tough to buy these deals when people are wanting such a high price point on their cars. It makes you choose less. It makes you want to be more strict with what you're paying, and it makes you want to take less chances. If I had one big suggestion, it would be to make sure that if you're going to be at last comp, especially if someone's spending or willing to spend thousands of dollars with you and you want to move your cards, be a little more lenient. It's just how the market goes, right? I would have looked through, because I didn't even look through a single card after this transaction of him. Do I plan on looking through his boxes more? I don't know. At this point, I just do not know. For me, I'm all about treating people, especially like, people that come up to my tables and all that. If they do deals with me and all that, at the end, I want them to be happy, right? Especially if they're going to, and they've shown me they're going to do plenty of deals with me. If someone said, I bought, because I know, like, there's a couple people I can think of off the top of my head. I bought $1,000+ off you. I plan to spend more with you too. And there was this one card that I just, the condition of it was a little not up to where I was hoping, especially for your other cards and all that. And I still liked it, but I would have paid a little less, right? Can you do, and they hit me with the $10 discount thing. I'm like, sure, why not? And I think that, like, especially for where I'm at comparative to someone like this vendor, I think that shows a lot about just, I don't know, the sheer like expectations and reality of everything, right? I'm not when I'm setting up and all that, I know there's bigger and bigger and bigger and like whales and whales and whales. I'm a small fish. So like for someone to support me and to, do what I do, I'm going to cherish that, right? But for someone like, this vendor who's been into, cards and selling cards and has a family, owns a home, maybe even probably multiple, and then, is able to just absolutely, has connections and all that. And, probably has, amazing returns on certain cards that he's kept. There's a disconnect from that reality after a certain point, I've realized. Now, do I still love the family and all that? Yeah, it's just, there's a certain level of like working with someone that I feel like is something that should be done. Now, that's all I'm going to talk about in this video. It was a lot to explain. I just figured I would show and also so one point he makes, and I'll leave the audio here in a little bit, and you guys enjoy the card show audio, but he says that he bought like one card for like $50 or something, and it was like the corner was mangled or something, and he can't go and get a refund, and he's bought like millions of dollars of cards, and he can't go back and get refunds, and I don't think that wasn't my intention, was not to go back and get a refund. I didn't say, I made a pile and just wanted a little more discount, a little more leeway on this deal, because I know I spent $8, right? $8 to get 75 cents back in theory, right? So I'm losing 90% of my money on that one card that I expected to, hopefully at least get, at worst maybe 50% of my, that was what my, if it was a clean card, shoot, that could grade, that someone could really want to grade that thing. I could get $20, I could go up into the double digits, right? But I think, so I didn't explain this too, and then this will be the last thing I leave you guys on. The $2 thing I say at the end here, I say I got like a Luke Kuechly card and another one for like $2, right? You don't get $2 after fees. I kind of should have, maybe preferenced that to him even, but you get $1.50, and then you have to take into account supplies, and everything else like that. So it pretty much ends up equating to like $1 and change, right? So it's even less than 75 cents technically if you divide it by the 2, but just for simple math, 10% return, technically it's 10%, it's not even a 10% profit, right? It's literally 10% of the total buy cost on that one card. But also he kind of this is just, he says also that what about the other other thousands of cards you bought from me that you've made money on? When someone, like, there's also a disconnect there where personally, when people start to act and think that they're the one doing you the favor in the business relationship, I start to take a step back. I say, okay, you know what? This is not it's not for me. And when people show that it's they're doing the favor only for the people, right? And that's their mindset. I say, okay, you know what? I'm going to take a step back. I'm going to let them, maybe try to change their outlook on the situation, or just in general, just that's all I've, like, literally I can think of multiple people who I have disconnected with in the hobby, that have been, trying to approach two good friends, where they started to, show that side of their, of their own personal life and relationships, where they show, okay, I am the one doing you the favor here. And then that's where I say, hold up, this is like a mutual, I'm buying your cards, you're selling me cards at prices you want. There's, we're both doing each other a service, and a both having a level of, of favor we are doing to each other. I don't want to use I just use the word favor, because we're both doing ourselves a, justice by doing this transaction. It's not a one-sided agreement, it's not a one-sided thing. If you, this is how I look at it, right? You have cards priced out at sticker price points, right? You have a price number in mind that you say for each transaction. I typically end up doing all of that. We agree to a price point, right? No matter what, right? If you want to, you can put the cards back. That's even what he was, trying to do, was he said, for $80, I'd put it back, is what he says. For anything less than 90, I'd just put it back. But the real point that I think, if you have price points in mind, if you have it set out, if you want to only get this X amount of money, and you're gonna, try to use the amount of money that the people have made as leverage, my point is how much money have they made? How much money do you think I've made? Then also, if you wanted to make more money, why not go and build your own whatnot? Why not go and do eBay? Why not go and do auctions? Why not send it to DC Sports, right? If you wanted to take a chance, like I'm taking a chance when buying, thousands of cards and all that, obviously he's buying cards and putting them out, but he's not taking the risk of running auctions. He's not taking the risk of, he's not taking that time to list it on eBay. He's not taking the time to build the whatnot. He's not. So if I did make any money, it's because of the endeavors I've built. Obviously, it's because if he's making money, it's because of the endeavors he built. But he's built his business in a certain model. If he ever wanted his business model to have higher upside, then he should build a whatnot. He should do auctions. He should, take chances like that, where in the long run, or in the short run, you might lose some money, but in the long run, you might make more money potentially. It really just depends, right? Some cards that he has out for $8, he might be able to get a $25 sell if you're very lucky. But you have to be lucky. You have to be willing to take those chances. So the point of me making money isn't, I just don't understand it, because he's making money also off of the transaction. If he was okay with doing the sale, I'm pretty sure he'd have to be into the money on the cards. And you obviously limit your own profit by doing card shows and by putting out the price points, by having your price point in mind. Where I'm taking chances, I'm losing money here and there, I'm making money here and there, I'm losing money here and there. And that's the chances I'm making. I just don't know really what the future holds for the relationship with this vendor and all that. But I do appreciate all the relationships I've had nonetheless, regardless of the outcome they've had. But yeah, so that's really all I got for this video. I'll let the audio play out, and I appreciate you guys for watching. Take it easy with me. I hope I see you in the next one, and deuces. For what I think I would want to found some stuff? Yeah, I'm going to come back to it. I didn't look through all of it. You want to just set these aside, or do you want to do it now? If you want to do it now, it's 110 sticker.
Okay.
I'll look through the graded while you're... Okay, so this is the last thing I'm touching on because I just remembered I forgot to say it. He also said that he can't go back and get a discount or a refund. But I think if I had to suggest anything to anybody, if you do have a business relationship with people, especially when you're going to be doing multiple deals and, you know, the more deals with the person, if you had a card or if you had cards that you weren't happy with, or, you know, if you needed more leeway on a past deal, maybe ask just for, you know, a tiny bit of leeway on the deals you're working out with them in the future. If this vendor's not doing that, I don't know, like I should write a book about negotiation tactics or something. I'm sure there's plenty out there, but yeah, definitely use that to your leverage if you're out there and all that. Especially if you're buying in the millions of dollars of cards. You know what? If you spent tens of thousands of dollars with me in the past, I'm not going to worry about $100. Shake my hand, right? That should be the takeaway. That should be one of the takeaways for this video too.
How you been? All right?
Yeah, I've been good. How have you been?
Not too bad. Back and forth to Vegas and back, and Vegas and back.
Heck yeah.
Mexico, took my wife to the dentist and back. And yeah, it seemed like I'm in more airplanes than anything.
How's Vegas?
Hot?
How was Vegas?
I have a home there, so.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah.
How do you like living out there?
I like it. Yeah, I like it. Eventually I'll sell the home here in Fairfield. So we're going to stay. We were going to sell it this year, but my grandson, who's somewhere, is going to be a freshman in high school, so we're going to stay for his sports.
$90.
Would you do 80? Because I bought a Finest refractor Luke Kuechly from you for $10. Luke Kuechly refractor Topps Finest rookie for 10, and it was all scratched to death, and I got like $2 for it, and I had to pair it with another card.
What about the 800 other cards you talked about that you tripled on?
I know. It's just I know there's probably.
I'll put them back. I won't do 80. Because yesterday I wasn't giving it.
I just know. I'm fine with it, but I mean, they're good. It's just.
I bought $1 million worth of cards from people. I bought a card the other day that had a bent corner. I can't go back and ask my money back.
I mean,
I'm at a card show. Can I call you later?
there you go.
What do you say, 90?
Yeah.
All right.
Cool. Thank you.
Thanks, son.
Good seeing you.